Look at it.
Wow.
It's beautiful. With 5 simple ingredients, you can make the cheesiest, most gorgeous, luxurious pasta ever. And we've been asked for pasta. Sam, would you do a pasta? Sam, we'd love you guys to do some pasta. Sam, Max is a baby. Kidding. Though some of you did. In that poll, say Max was a baby. And some of you also said I was an asshole, which I know I am, so I'm okay with it. But we're making pasta carbonara. There's only 5 ingredients. Pasta, Parmesan cheese, eggs, black pepper, and, oh, did I say pancetta? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, oh, pepper. There's only 5 ingredients in the pasta carbonara. There's pepper, there's pasta, there's eggs, there's Parmesan cheese, and there's pancetta, which could be substituted with bacon. I love it. It is so damn good, and I should not be eating a lot of pasta. So I'm only gonna have a couple of bites. Couple bites. If you can tell, I'm like 7 pounds down now. Should we start? And while the pancetta gets going, let's deal with the eggs and cheese. Into our bowl will go 2 eggs and 1 egg yolk. Oh. And 1 egg yolk. Do you know how to separate an egg yolk? So to separate an egg, nice little tap. Pull it in half. And we want the yolk, so we're just gonna let the white drip away. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And you can pass it back and forth, making sure that you get all the white off. And now you've got just an egg yolk that you can dump in. Perfect. And the extra yolk will give us extra richness. Now, before we beat the eggs, this very important, great Parmesan cheese that we need to add to this. You could use bag stuff, but in this case, I really think you want to buy yourself a decent piece of cheese. And we want like about a cup of this. We're gonna put more on after, but right now I'll use my microplane zester, one of the greatest inventions ever. We'll put a link at the bottom. And it's perfect for cheese like this. It's really good for getting the zest of an orange or lemon or lime off the outside. That's the color part. Great for sprinkling chocolate beautifully on top of a finished dessert. It's just great. So in an hour, when I have about a cup of this, we'll be ready for the next move. Oh, for God's sakes. Have somebody do this for you. Hey, if you got kids, this is the moment to make them do something. Make the little rats do something. Billy, Susan, come on in for a second. I've got something fun for you. You like to help Daddy cook, don't you? Stand there and grate that shit, you little rat. Okay, I think I'm about there. We're gonna add more, so I'm good.
You're giving everyone a glimpse into my childhood.
Yes. When I say rat, I lovingly mean Max when he was little. Okay, now we just mix this. Oh. Set that aside. Let's go back to our pancetta. Time for pasta. I got my favorite. Check that out. Bucatini. It's like spaghetti with a hole in the middle, and that will absorb extra sauce inside. At least that's the theory, but I love them. All right, let's go. So the pasta goes in, and we'll start to go down, give it a little smush around, and in a second it starts to do its thing. It's gonna be fine. Next up, the pancetta. Cheddar goes in, starts to cook right away. What makes pancetta the right thing, it's got a pretty high fat to meat ratio. And one of the things that makes carbonara super delicious is the fat. So what we're trying to do at this point, we're just trying to render out the fat, and we're gonna leave a bunch of it in the pan. See that? That glistening gorgeousness, that's where we're headed. By the way, if you had bacon, you could use bacon. Hell, you could probably use little bites of salami if you wanted. Which, by the way, would not be a bad thing. So your goal is like 2 or 3 tablespoons of fat in here, and that's what we've got, so that's great. I'm gonna add one thing, not always in all recipes for carbonara, but I love some garlic going in here. So just give it a little shot of the garlic, good stir. And when it just starts to get super fragrant, you turn down the heat. You don't want to continue cooking it too much, so turn it down, but definitely keep it warm. And by the way, I know I said 5 ingredients, but this made it 6. So I forgot that I wanted to add some garlic. But it's not traditional, so it's traditionally 5 ingredients. Today, it's 6. And when the pasta is ready, here's how it goes together. Look at the beautiful pancetta. Gorgeous, sizzling away. And now the pasta comes right over. And ideally, you want to do this off the heat because you don't want to cook this. You want it to mix in beautifully. Oh, look how these Bucatini have all swollen up and gotten fat and beautiful. And the pasta water that's coming in with it is actually a good thing, and we're going to keep the pot right here because we might want a little bit extra. So your pasta's in. And now do this. Now you want to toss it beautifully so it starts to pick up some of that nice fatty pancetta oil. Mix in the pieces of the pancetta. Oh boy. But just wait for the fun because that's now. And here's when we add our cheese and our egg mix. Just like this. But we don't want scrambled eggs, so we want to keep this moving. And I can tell you, the smell has just gotten incredible. But remember what I said about keeping the pasta water handy? We want that because that will really help this sauce come together. So I'm going to put a big ladle in like that. And then mix again. And the reason we're using the pasta water, Max, is because, another ladle.
The starch?
We want the starch from the water that came off the pasta when it was cooking. Okay, look at this. This is almost perfect. Look down at the bottom. You see the sauce down there that's a little thick, but a little gorgeous. Now, 2 other things. I promised the black pepper, and there does need to be lots of it. So here's another job for the kids. So lots of black pepper. I did not salt this yet because the pancetta is pretty salty. And I want to make sure it's okay before I want to taste it before I would add any salt. And then finally, a little parsley. Look at that. Look it. Just look it. Thick, rich, delicious, and gorgeous. The beautiful part of this is something you should be able to make almost on a minute's notice. You almost always have bacon. Pasta, easy to keep. Parmesan cheese, and you're there. Look at it.
Wow.
It's beautiful. Oh, we got to take a bite of this. Come on, let's have a bite. Okay, but before we taste the bite, it needs more cheese. Lots of cheese. This is the crowning glory. This is the pièce de résistance. Ladies and gentlemen, oh. Okay, so that's what you want. You want a good cheesy bite. And now, in we go. Look at that. Perfect, cheesy, gooey richness. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's too big. I can't do that, but I can do this. Hold on. Let me just twirl a bit. Get one good ass bite. What? What just happened here? 5, 6 ingredients maybe. It's delightful. Delightful, what a ridiculous word. I struggle sometimes. This is what you want. This is what you should make. Keep a bunch of the pasta water. Don't get rid of it because you want to get it till it's nice and creamy. Perfect. All right. I got nothing else except to stand here and have maybe one more bite. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for liking. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for everything that you do to be part of this audience. It means a lot. See ya.